let's say we have trained a GPT-2 model. Instead of doing a training, we want to reuse the model. So GPT-2 model is available in Transformers package. You can easily use that, and the code is many of the Git repos has that code. So what here I will try to demo you is the the journey of a prompt through GPT-2 model, which is pre-trained. So we are not going to train the model. We are going to use the weights which are already been trained, and we are going to use that weights, and we want to see the journey of the prompt. So let's say for GPT-2, the main task is to predict the next word, sorry, right? So I input the future of artificial intelligence is. So GPT-2 now should predict the next word in that sequence. So as we know, the input sequence dimension for GPT-2 is approximately 1024. It can support a maximum of 1024, but presently the sequence is of only 6 tokens. Okay, so the 6 tokens will be first converted to token IDs. Here you can see that I have just written a Python script which show that process. So byte pair encoding will be used, and that the future of artificial intelligence will be converted to token IDs. So the will correspond to token ID 464. Future will be corresponding to a token ID of 2003. This all token IDs for the whole vocab, which is something around 52,000. You can find in vocab.json file. When you download the model, this all files will be downloaded, and you can see that in vocab.json you will see that file which is containing all that vocab for their token IDs. Once you have this token IDs, right, you will be converting that token ID into a vector of dimension 768. So each token ID will be converted to a vector of 768 dimension. So let's say token ID 464 will be mapped to a vector of dimension 768. Token ID 2003 will be mapped to a vector of dimension 768, right? And all that matrices which we have discussed in the last video is been trained and available in model.safe-tensors. So model.safe-tensors says all that data, all that 124 million parameters that we have discussed, all that matrices and all that weights are being kept into that model.safe-tensors. Okay, so now you can see that the second step is to convert that token IDs into 768 dimensional vector, and you can see the first 5 dimensions of that token. Now you have to add the positional embedding. So positional embedding for each token would be of each token would be of 768 dimension. So you can see that the token ID shape, right, is 1, 6, 768, and the positional embedding is of 1, 6, 768, and the final embedding would be the addition of these two, which is the input token and the positional embedding. So now after you have gone through 12 layers, right, because GPT-2 has 12 layers, you will get the final output, which is of 6, 768. Okay, so this should be comma. Okay, let me correct this. Okay, so the final output vector is of 6, 768. So I just want to give you an idea what I mean by the output vector is 6, 768. So the 6th word in that list, right, in that vector contains, in that matrix, right, contains information of all the previous words. Okay, like we have seen attention mechanism, like how GPT-2 has been trained, right? So the output vector for the 6th word, which is will have influence of the future of artificial and intelligence, all and along with itself, right? So all that context has been coming into the last vector, which is the 6th token, right? So here we will take the last token for the new word prediction. Okay, so we are using the contextual vector of is token, which we entered here and which we have got an output here to predict the next token. Okay, once we predict the next token, the prediction with GPT-2 is auto-recursive, right? Auto-recursive, right? So it's a fancy word to say that whatever output you are getting will be fed back in the time step 2. So this is basically how you can see that when you entered the future of artificial intelligence is at time step T1, it predicted now, right? With the help of the last contextual token which you have got here, which you got here, right? It used that token to predict now. Now you have taken again the whole sentence, the future of artificial intelligence is now, and input matrix of dimension 7, 768 to predict the next word in the sequence which is in. At time step 3, you will again take the whole previous input, which is the future of artificial intelligence now in, right? So in will come here, right? So in this way, you will predict the next word and keep on predicting it for different time steps. So this is how the prediction GPT 2 is happening here, right? So yep, the training was done in parallel, but the prediction is with respect to different time steps. Okay. So the last thing which I would like to mention is that in many of the blocks I've read that during prediction the process is auto-regressive, right? And during training it's non-auto-regressive. Basically, it means that during training you are inputting the whole sentence, right, in one go, and during prediction you are getting one token each at one time steps. That's the only difference. Thank you.